Very welcome back. And as before the break, we had Paul Simon and Mother and Child Reunion. And joining me in the studio now, I've got Kathleen O'Doherty from the Letterkenny Reunion. Kathleen, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much, Jean. It's great to get the opportunity to have a wee chat with you.
So the Letterkenny Reunion, it's been going for quite some time, Kathleen.
Yes, indeed, Jean. 1991 was the first Letterkenny Reunion, and it was thanks to Letterkenny men Johnny Joe McCollum and Jimmy Swinney, who on one day were just having a general chit-chat, and they had said, so-and-so was home last weekend and so-and-so was coming home from abroad the following weekend, and would it be nice if we could arrange something so that everybody would travel together on the same weekend and possibly we could meet up with them together.
And I'd say that took a lot of organising. I suppose there were so many emigrants from Letterkenny, all parts of the globe. It must have been a big task to get that together.
Well, to be honest, at that time I wasn't involved myself because I didn't join the committee until the year 2000. But I remember going to events with my mother, my late mother, God rest her. And like that, I too thought, how on earth did they manage to get so many people together? And at that time, remember, there was no social media, there was no instant contact, so it was literally either writing to people or families contacting one another. But with the committee, with Jimmy and Johnny Joe and God rest Johnny Gallagher and many others like that, I just want to give a wee mention to names that I know that have passed on, that were members of the committee, some for a number of years, some for a shorter break. But with Johnny, there was Busty James McMonigal, Nuala McFeely, Jim Lynch, Barry Lynch, Patsy Shields, Patsy James, Gretty Peoples, and sincere apologies if there's anybody that I have forgotten to mention on that, but they're just people that have come into my mind as I come in the door to chat to you. As I say, I personally joined the committee in the year 2000, so at that stage we still hadn't really got the social media at that stage at all, so I was very new to it at that time. Actually, it's 23 years ago. I thought at that time, yes, I was quite young to be joining. And at the same time, when people from all ages, no more than any of us, when we meet up with folk that we know, that we went to school with, that we grew up with, that we socialised with, a lot of them had changed jobs, moved to other countries, moved to other parts of the country. And all of us love a reunion, no matter what. So this idea of the Letterkenny Reunion First Committee, it actually was a brilliant idea, and it was well before it was mentioned any such thing as a gathering was tried. Forget what at the time, Leo Varadkar, actually Minister of Tourism a number of years ago, tried to get going. But Letterkenny had been doing it since 1991 anyway.
And as you say, a lot of the early committee and people who came back home, I can think of Hugh Green for one, who's sadly no longer with us. It was an older age group, but the years have gone by, Kathleen, and you and I are of the same vintage, and now it's great to meet up with our age group, because you know, as I said, you never just know how many reunions we have left. Hopefully we'll have many ones, but it's nice. Just Mark Swinney and his family were there from Australia, not for the reunion, but it's just nice to meet them and reminisce on days in the Dolphin when we shared one plate of chips with about 10 people, and we're throwing out the daughter's Tessie used to call us.
Well, I think, Jean, even in relation to that, when you mention the Dolphin, and I know for a fact Donna Kilcawley, she was then, is actually listening into the show tonight, so I'd like to say hello to her in Rome. But like that, there were so many generations that actually did attend the Dolphin and the one plate of chips and the 5 or 6 forks and fingers only. Yeah, a lot of us have those tales. But even going on for even younger generations than us, okay, it's easier for them now, they're travelling more and whatever, but COVID put a stop to that for a couple of years. So the fact that we couldn't have a reunion in 2021, and the last one was 2018, next year, 2024, we do intend having an event from the 4th of August, which is a bank holiday weekend. So we do intend to have a reunion, and we're hoping that people will travel from all over, or can do.
And I suppose it's not just for people who were born and reared in Letterkenny, it's for the whole community. And I remember the last reunion that you had the fair day down the street and you had music, and it was great entertainment for all ages.
Yeah, indeed, Jean. And like that, I know I said it myself once upon a time. Somebody says to me, I'm not from Letterkenny. But this particular person actually lived in Letterkenny much longer than some of those that had emigrated at age 16, 17 and 18. So it is a community event. Yes, home is home wherever you make it. But heritage and your home place where you were born, I suppose that's what initially it was reaching out to. But it is a community. It is those, because we find that even now, locals, even to go down the street ourselves now, to find locals, as we call locals, just because we were reared with them, are few and far between. But the community are there now. It's a Letterkenny community, so we should be encouraging others to join us. And not only that, as far afield, we extend anyone that wishes to come to Letterkenny, because we would have had people that were nursing in the hospital or went to the old regional college or some of the factories, and they have moved on, but they would have had friendships with people from Letterkenny and surrounding areas.
And as you said, many of the founder members are sadly are no longer with us. And if you're planning now for 2024, I'm sure you would appreciate new blood with new ideas and enthusiasm.
Well, of course, there's always, every committee, no matter what it is, there always is nice to have a continuation of people that have done things before, and some will say, oh, why try something new when it hasn't, what's that saying? Don't, if it's okay, don't break it, or whatever. But yes, we need new ideas. Yes, you need fresh blood. People, sometimes it's very hard to get people to come on committees. And even over the years, there's too many for me to mention now of committees that have actually been on the reunion since 91. And as I say myself, I'm there since 2000. But each member that had been there, whether it was on 1 term, 2 term or more, everybody has something to give to it, something different. And even when we have our meetings, the camaraderie with us, and we do have a bit of banter and a bit of fun. Yes, there's a lot of work, it's voluntary, and even fundraising and everything, it does take up a time, but it's enjoyable.
Yeah, and I suppose being involved in a number of committees myself, fundraising and sponsorship, events like that, just they cost money. They're not free. They're free maybe for the public, the open air events, but they're not free to the committee.
Well, that's right, because only recently there we actually had a flag day, as we call it, just the stickers, and again, the same thing. People were literally out in the street with a bucket looking for money. And in fairness, when we get any sponsorship from anybody, it's most welcome, because we all know prices have increased every way. Music has increased. Even to order a cup of tea now and a biscuit for an event, it all costs money. But if you have a voluntary group that are willing to give in the time, and if they get support from the locals, and whoever wants to help, everybody's welcome.
And I just see a WhatsApp in here. Hi, Jean. Well done to my mum speaking so well about the Letterkenny Reunion, and well done to all involved in organising it. As long as I remember, Mum has chatted about how much fun and crack it is to meet up with the people each time the reunion takes place. The more people get involved, the merrier. Long may it last. And that comes from Lynn and Jack.
Ah, lovely. Thank you. Thank you. That's great.
So when is your next, for those people who are listening tonight that might want to get involved, Kathleen, when is your next meeting, or how often do you meet?
Well, we would meet now, saying that because of COVID, everything was put on the back boiler for a while, and we didn't know whether there would be another reunion. We had said there would be another reunion, but when was the time, we weren't too sure. So that's why next year, August 24, we will. Now, because of the mural, which actually is being launched on Friday night, that'll be an opportunity for people to attend, and that is open to everybody. We're so appreciative of this mural. It was commissioned actually by the Letterkenny Heritage Community Group, and we are so grateful to them, because they took it upon themselves to get this mural done on behalf of the Letterkenny Reunion, just to acknowledge the companionship and just the good events and memories that the reunion has created by people coming home. And that event, or the mural, it actually will be launched on the Friday night, and Mayor Kevin Bradley is to do so. I would just like to say thanks to Ben Sweeney and Dillon's Hotel for their sponsorship of the mural. The mural itself was by a very talented father and son, Kevin Senior and Kevin Junior Gallagher. Very talented men. They've also done the murals up at the Old Mart, if anyone has had an opportunity to see them. And it's a great thing for us to be recognised that by Letterkenny Town itself, that this mural will be there for all to see.
So the mural has been launched at the Devlin Hall, but where is the actual mural at the Devlin Hall?
It will be at the Devlin Hall on the wall. On the wall of the Devlin Hall, and then afterwards we're going to have a little cup of tea down in the station house, so everyone is welcome.
And you mentioned there that it was commissioned there by the Letterkenny Community Heritage Group, and they do an awful lot of work for the community as well, Kathleen, and a voluntary group as well.
Well, they too, indeed, Jean, are a voluntary group. And to be honest, because I'm personally not involved myself, but I went up to see, they actually have an exhibition up in the museum at the moment, and I went to see it. And honestly, folks, you should go and visit it, because they do so much work behind the scenes. We really don't realise what's going on just to keep heritage alive. They just want to, they have a variety of events and publications, that recognising and remembering people that have gone past. And I would advise everybody to go and see it. Like a lot of other groups, there are voluntary groups, as we know, in Letterkenny, different groups. Again, I'm not familiar with them all, but I do know that each group is doing their best to keep Letterkenny alive, and I'm sure it goes on in other towns as well. But people, we need to support them. We need to be seen out to help what we can do. And of course, we all know everybody's busy and doing different things. I recently retired myself this year, so I have a little bit more time on my hands. Now, I'm taking a back seat for a wee while till I get used to the retirement from not actually working. But I have to say, being on voluntary committees over the years, it does take time, but there's a great camaraderie. There's a great friendship within people, and it's just nice to do it.
Fantastic. Well, the best of luck with your plans for the reunion in 2024, and with the launch of the mural on Friday night at 7:30 at the Devlin Hall, and looking forward to that and a wee cup of tea and chat afterwards in the station house. Kathleen, thank you so much for taking time out to join me tonight.